Hey, this is going to be a stretch of stuff. Behind me I have my Condor boom lift. The model number is a 4046. I'm going to take it for a little spin, go over the numerous repairs I've done on it, the history of it, just a general overview of what all the little things on it do. So let's take a look. Start off with the basket controls. We have the boom, turret, that would be spinning the whole thing here. This is in and out, that boom's up and down, and of course forward and backwards drive. This one here's your steering. This is your basket tilt. That takes this whole basket and tilts it like that. This here's your basket rotate, so if you're standing here, it can spin the basket back and forth. High-low speed. When you're in high speed, it locks out a lot of the functions, and you have to be down with the boom in to go high speed. If you're up in the air, you can move, but only in low speed. This is your start and stop buttons. Over on the side, we have an electrical outlet. There's a plug in the engine bay that you can plug in so you get power up here. So let's go take a look at the ground controls. Now you can't do everything from the ground controls. You can see here you have a selector. You want ground, or in this case they call it aerial, that'd be your basket controls. You can do the up and down on the boom, left and right on the boom, then in and out on the boom, start, stop. So you can't do your drive controls, you can't make the steering go or make it go forwards and backwards, and you can't do the basket control where you tilt the basket or rotate the basket. I believe that one time they had an adapter that you could plug into this that you could operate the drive controls from the ground. We got an hour meter here, 3,200 hours, voltage meter, and over here we have another control. This is your emergency lowering valve. So if you get stuck up top where the engine doesn't start or something stupid, which has happened, and you don't want to climb down, which would be dangerous, somebody can come along and open this valve, and you can see the boom go down ever so slowly. So that's a nice feature. There's a way to convert this to electric, so you can have a button on the control panel up top, and you can push that button and have it go down. I think I have the valve, but I've never hooked it up. Come down here, this is the solenoid. Well, we'll cover that when we go through everything else. So let's go ahead and take a look at what everything on this actually does. Let's go back up to the basket. Oh, we gotta get way down. That cylinder there is what controls your basket level, keeping it nice and level as it goes up and down. There's another cylinder in the back that is tied to this one, so as you go up and down it keeps it level, and then you can override it with the controls up there and set the tilt someplace else. You come around here to the right, this cylinder here swivels your basket back and forth. This is obviously the boom, no biggie there. This piece here slides in and out, give you more reach. Come up here, take a look inside here. That great big cylinder, that's your lift cylinder. I've repacked that one. Inside the big boom here is also probably, I don't know, it's probably 15 foot, I don't know. There's a really long cylinder in there for extension. I've also repacked and rebuilt that one. Look inside here. These are your one set of valves for the hydraulics. Nothing fancy about them, they're just simple on-off valves. They do the steering and they do the basket tilt and rotate. These four valves back in here are a little bit more tricky. These pieces on top, let's see if I can get a good view. There we go. This section up top, right here, and there's four of them. That's what controls the proportionate. So it makes it so you can go really slow or you can go as fast as it will allow you in drive, the boom going up and down, the boom going in and out and rotating. Now those suckers there are kind of complicated inside, and you better know what you're doing if you're playing with them. I've had to clean them and take them apart and reset them a couple times to get them right. If you look down here, this is a worm drive gearbox. This does your rotate. Here's a turret valve. This or a swivel valve, I should say. This is just a valve that goes through the base where it swivels and provides hydraulics to your steering and to your drive motors. Let's go back around here. There's your drive motor and brake. Nothing special there. There's your outer hub. It's some kind of reduction hub, if I remember correctly. Take a look in here. This is the Wisconsin V4. This is the big one. Let's see, VG4D. I believe that's a 37 horse. There's nothing really complicated about these Wisconsins. They're very simple. They're nothing more than a overgrown, air-cooled Briggs & Stratton engine. So I've got my battery charger up because the battery's low. Propane powered. Down below here, this is a John Deere pump. That solenoid I was pointing at earlier, I said we talk about later, that turns this pump on and off hydraulically. These are very simple pumps. If you have a problem with them, you usually can just take them apart, clean them up, put them back together. They're pretty robust. This is the 110 generator. There's supposed to be a switch in the basket that turns the engine RPMs up. When it does that, this produces 110 up to the basket, but I have it disconnected. There's a plug on the end of it, so you could plug it in and put a belt on it, and I guess it would work, but I've never played with it. So go back around to that solenoid I was talking about, because there's two solenoids. Yes, this little solenoid here, that's the one that turns the pump on and off. And at the same time, whenever you turn the pump on, you fire this solenoid up here, which pulls the throttle up to about 2,000 RPMs. It's a governed motor, so it just holds it there for you. So, as far as repairs, oh boy, where do I start? I've rebuilt that cylinder, the big cylinder underneath, just replaced that cylinder, all new hydraulic lines to the basket. I had to put different tires on it, different drive motors, flushed the entire hydraulic system out, did some wiring work. I had to replace, let's see if we can get in here. Had to replace the two relays there on the top. Those are super expensive. They're like $200 a pop. Hydraulic fluid is like 30 gallons, so you can imagine 30 gallons of ATF, it gets expensive. The motor, I've had to redo the exhaust manifold and intake manifold, do the timing. Just a lot of work to this dumb thing. So, well, let's take it first. If you're going to own one of these, you better know what you're doing. I've had this for quite a few years, and you got to know your electrics, you got to know your motors, you got to know your hydraulics. So, anyways, we're going to take it for a spin here in a second. Well, I got to start. That's always a bonus. We got propane, batteries charged up some. Before I go any further, I have to thank Ed from Readylift in Mansfield, Ohio. I bought this for $2,000 off of him. It had been sitting outside in the weeds for years, and he helped me considerably in getting it up and running good. So, it ain't perfect, but it's a heck of a lot better. So let's try to take the boom up. hope you enjoy, and I should have this posted up. Now, where would I be if I forgot to actually drive it around? So I don't know how I'm going to do this since I only have one hand available.